Hey guys, Lantern here again, and I played a Tron matchup today. A blue-white Tron with my newer version of Zoo, the one that's more burn-heavy. It's still got awkward mana bases because of, specifically I think because I'm clogging it up with Burning Tree Emissary, although we again have to talk about Burning Tree Emissary's power. So after this video I'm going to end up cutting Burning Tree Emissary and trying to see how it works out, but as such it's still like the last video's list. But I play against Tron, and this is the first time I'm viewing his stuff, but I managed to come back from sort of like nothing in hand. Again, here's the awkward thing, I've got a plains in here. Maybe I should cut the plains again and just run like some form of thing, but I mulligan all the way down to 5, like right away, to keep it keepable hand. A 19 lands is awkward in this deck because there's a lot of 2 converted mana cost stuff. So if I can get up to 2021, I'd be happy. But here, yeah, I end up going for experimental one to do something. Yeah, I guess he's sort of like a blue Tron with some white control elements added in as well. Talos of Progress is really good for them. Keeps them in their colors that they need to be. I think I win this game because he messes up. He has an Expedition map and the ability to finish his Urzatron right away. Talisman of Progress, let's see, it's 8 mana. He should have been able to just kill me with the Sundering Titan, but he just ends up fetching for the wrong one in the first place, and loses because of it. I have no clue. I kept a bad hand. I shouldn't have won this game, but I managed to sneak it out because he fetches for the wrong land. He gets a tower instead of a mine. I don't know if he thought maybe he was gonna be able to power out something better, but that's 7 mana plus an 8th mana, so he would have been able to Sundering Titan next turn if he got the correct lands, but he doesn't. I mean, I don't understand why he doesn't take it back either. I mean, this is Cockatrice. It's not like I would hold it against it if he shuffled it back in there. But again, I drew the right mana. I've got Burning Tree Emissary with nothing to do. I guess I bolted with it, which is not a loss. I got 2 sort of things that I need to do. I either need to fix my mana, which I'm trying to do, and then fix Burning Tree Emissary, or cut Burning Tree Emissary and go more of the classic Naya route. I probably should just fix my mana base, and hopefully it won't screw up like last time. But yeah, I mean, he gets the wrong mana, and that's sort of like the reason why I win here. It's just, I think he just realizes it right now. It's already a turn past. He got the absolute wrong mana that he needed to get. He still has Wormcoil mana, so it's not too bad, and I point to him. He forgets to do the 1 damage. He still has Wormcoil mana when he drops the Hollowed Fountain, take 2 Wormcoil, but I mean, all the same, that shouldn't have been the play. I find an extra mana. It's not really useful right now. But here I'm going to go for it. And I could have Rampagered, but I didn't know if he had a bounce spell or something. So I didn't want to risk it yet, and I knew a Wormcoil was going to be coming up, and I may need the Rampager for the Wormcoil. Should I have Gorkland, I could have been able to just a Lightning Helix for the win as of this turn. He puts out this, cutting himself down to 4. Puts out the Wormcoil engine. Again, if I Rampagered it, that would have been over. But in the end, I believe what ends up happening is I see that I can do what? If he blocks with this, this guy will do 6 damage and bring him basically back to 4 as I lose one card. So it's not worth it. End of turn, I'm going to Lightning Helix him. Hopefully, if I could draw a burn spell, it'll be over for him. Um, but here, yeah, if I swung and then rampagered, he would basically, if I swung with this and he blocked that, swung with these two and he blocked that, he gains 6. I make this guy hit for 6 harder. All I do is I lose a card and I lose my rampager. So the best thing I can do is put out a Loom Line, because if he doesn't put out anything worth putting out next turn, then I can go ahead and if he blocks and I make this Rampager happen, it cancels out his life gain. I hit for the extra 2, which I need to win. And again, a lot of people, for some reason, think that Loom Lion or Curt Ape or even, you know, does not pump Experimental One. It, however, does. It's a static ability. You have to explain that. That it enters the battlefield as long as you control Forest as a 2/3, therefore pumping Experiment 1. I don't know why people don't know that. It seems like basic magic. And there's the link if you ever need to disprove it. And so he swings here, and he shouldn't have, I don't think. I mean, I'm not sure if swinging gets him anywhere. I guess he wants to gain the life as fast as possible. But that still means that I get to swing here completely all in without any chance of him living, unless he compulsive researches and finds himself something he needs to find, which he doesn't, and I swing, and it's just the win. So again, that was a misplay on the Tron part, which allowed me to win, but I wanted to show you that first game as like, just to show you how I got a pretty bad start there, but managed to still come back in droves. And here I've got a pretty good start. I mean, Burning Tree, I can at least bolt with the Burning Tree like I did last time, if I need to, which is probably better than nothing. I suspect that you might have some way to counter my 2-drop anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I draw the Pride Mage. Again, one of the good reasons about being at white, I can start swinging with this, and if he drops something that I need to kill, maybe an early Talisman or a turn 2 map, you know, that's where it gets better. So there's a Curt Ape. I mean, he's Curt Ape. He does his Curt Ape thing. And so he passes with open mana, and when you're facing this Tron deck and he hasn't actually put out Tron pieces, and he has not opted to Talisman of Progress, you know he's holding a counter. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to swing, keep this open, I mean, you always want to do things on your second main phase, especially on your turn 2, just to pretend like you have Rampager if you have Rampager, and I did have Rampager. I don't know what he would do. I guess he could... what's that one that does 3 damage to non-white creature with a white spell? And I'm going to offer up the Burning Tree here for a counter, because I know he's got a counter in hand. Again, he kept the mana open, while clearly probably having something to do with it, like a map or a talisman or something. And here he's going to Oblivion Ring my Curt Ape, thinking maybe he'll stay above, you know, what he needs to do here. And at this point, he's tapped out. I've got no other creatures to put out left, so I'm going to put out the Qasali Pride Mage. I don't run the Qasali Pride Mage out there usually, because I'd rather have the ability to pop him out in a surprise, sort of, and screw him over. But what this does do is, if he tries to path my Qasali, I can go ahead and leave a mana open and kill the Oblivion Ring. Should he have the way to sort of overcome that, and that way I would be able to still have a creature should that happen. Now here I played wrong. I should have bolted the Sarcom, just in case I drew something, but I figured I'm going to Rampager over anyways. But what I should have done is protect Equali a little bit more, just in case he got a Wurmcoil out or something like that. Mindslaver. And swing with that, because it wouldn't have made a difference. It would have been 3 damage either way. Then I also make another player because I'm thinking I got to be aggressive as possible. So I Rampager here. And I could double Rampager, but drawing the Loom Lion, I'd rather play the Loom Lion. If I was playing more conservatively, I could have held back on the Rampager and just put out the Loom Lion, and then attacked. When I attacked with the Loom Lion and the Qasali Pride Mage next turn, Qasali wouldn't have got the Exalted, and then I would have been able to sort of like Rampager there instead, and still had a Rampager in case I needed it, and not trampled over for 5. But trampling over for 5 is fun. And I figured he's already getting the mana anyways. If he's got a Worm Coil, he's going to put out a Worm Coil regardless. And he doesn't. I'm safe. It's something that happens. Tron just sometimes does not get their strong board pieces they need. They get the Tron mana up, and then they don't have anything else. Or they get they don't get the Tron mana up, and then they die before that happens. It's not, whatever that was, 12 post, where it's just, even if they didn't get their pieces out, they still had, like post to gain a crap ton of life. And that's something good about Tron. Tron's very beatable by this deck, without even boarding in hate, really. Because sometimes you just go faster than them, and that's that. Especially the white versions. I got a Rampager over here, because I can't lose my Qasali. I need to keep a mana open at least. And then I'm thinking about whether he's got a board wipe or not, and if I should put the Loom Lion out. I should maybe hold him so that way I can finish him. But I figure if he's got any more blockers, if he had any way to wipe the board, he would have done it already. He would have tried to wipe the board earlier with the Qasali. But if he puts out a blocker again like that Sulcum, then me putting out the extra Loom Lion would win me the game. And he's got nothing. He's just got lands in hand. Draws his card. Another land. It's over. That's something to be said. I do like the red-green version of this deck, the Tron deck, because I think it's more consistent. I understand people are addicted to their blue and want to run counters or tricky things. But sometimes I think adding a blue into your deck just because you feel blue gives you safety is the opposite of what you should do. Anywho, that was my splash. I think I still need to fix a mana base rather than taking out the Burning Tree Emissary at this point. Just probably taking out 1 plains, adding in a fetch land, maybe another, taking out, just adding a fetch land probably is the correct move. So that was against Tron. Hopefully I've got some more versions of Tron, some more other stuff up there for you guys. Thanks for watching.